What's up, guys? If you are thinking of doing a group tour around India, then you are in the right place. In this video, I will be telling you about my full experience on the One Life Adventures India group tour. I will be highlighting the day-to-day itinerary and everything to expect. If you're thinking of doing this tour, we also have a 15% discount code for you, so stay tuned. Before we move on, if you are familiar with our channel, you might be wondering where Denzel is. Well, I actually did India as a solo trip because Denzel was busy with basketball commitments. So I will be talking about my full experience today.
But don't worry guys, I am still here live in action, making sure everything looks good behind the scenes. Before I head off, make sure you like, comment and subscribe for us. That'll be greatly appreciated and gives us all the motivation in the world to keep producing this dope content. All right, peace. Carry on.
We value your time. So if you already know that you want to do this tour, then our 15% discount code is frequentflyer15. And you can use this for 15% off any tour on the One Life Adventures website, which we have linked down below. However, if you are still unsure and looking to try and make your decision, then stay tuned. Let's jump straight in with day one. And on this day, you will be flying into Delhi International Airport. Flights are not included in the tour price, but if you book well in advance, you can usually get some good deals. I would suggest using flight comparison sites like Skyscanner. If you arrive on day one, then One Life will include a airport transfer, and this is true even if you arrive in the early hours of the morning, so it is great that that's included in the price. One awesome feature is that One Life uses a program called Women with Wheels for all of their airport transfers. This is an initiative set up in New Delhi to empower women and provide them with employment opportunities, which is super cool. And we were greeted with our female driver right outside Delhi Airport. Once you've had a chance to settle in at your hotel, you will head out for your first group dinner to meet everyone and sample the famous Indian cuisine. If you arrive a day or so early, you can actually add additional days onto the beginning of your tour, which is super easy to organize with One Life. And if you are looking for things to do in those days, we've actually written a free guide all on Delhi, so we'll link that down below for you. The following morning, you will head out for a full day exploring both Old and New Delhi. The day will start with a visit to the Gurudwara Bandla Sahib, which is a Sikh place of worship, and they also have a community kitchen. This kitchen feeds thousands of vegetarian meals to people for free every single day, regardless of their faith, religion, or background. It is a central practice to Sikhism called langar, and it's amazing to experience. You will have the opportunity to eat with the locals here and venture behind the scenes into the kitchen to see how all the food is made. Now we're actually in the kitchen for Hyde, where they make all of the food. They're making the bread. It is so cool to see it all in action behind the scenes. This was such a unique experience and one of my personal favorite moments in India. After lunch, you will get to visit the absolutely stunning Lotus Temple, which is conveniently named because it's in the shape of a giant lotus. You will have the opportunity to explore the grounds and head inside the temple, which is actually super cool despite there being no air conditioning due to design promoting ventilation. Following this, you will make your way to the famous streets of Old Delhi to sample the street food. Here, you are truly immersed in Indian culture and local life, and it's an amazing experience. One of the best features of this tour is that you have a local guide who knows all the best places to go to get both safe and delicious street food. One of the things that people have been worried about and mentioned since I've come back from India is getting poorly or getting Delhi belly, but with a local guide, they know all of the best spots that are safe. We enjoyed the most delicious parathas, so much so that we actually went back at the end of the tour to get them again. You will also get the opportunity to ride a rickshaw through the streets of Old Delhi, and honestly, the sights and sounds of these streets are something I have never experienced before while traveling. It's something that everyone needs to try at least once. This day was so jam-packed and full of amazing things. It actually felt like we had already been on the tour for about 3 days by the end of the day, and the group had really bonded and become close already, so it's such a great start to the trip. The next day, you will be heading to the famous city of Agra and the home of the Taj Mahal. You will be traveling by public train, and this train journey was actually super smooth. The aircon was great, the legroom was great, and the sunrise from the platform was absolutely stunning. It's also quite a quick journey, just about 2 hours, so it's super easy. After checking into the hotel, you will get some downtime before heading to an absolute hidden gem. And this one really took me by surprise. You actually get to visit a garden just south of the Taj Mahal. And I thought it would be quite a long way away from the Taj Mahal, but when we got there, we were actually really close. And it's an amazing way to see the Taj Mahal without too many crowds and get some great pictures. There's also an optional extra to visit Mehrangarh Fort on this day. I actually did this and had an amazing time, so I'd highly recommend. Our guide Adi was amazing at organising everything for us and making the process super easy.
We have just come out of the tunnel into the most beautiful lit marble arches. This place just is the gift that keeps on giving.
Get an early night because the following morning you are up bright and early to visit the Taj Mahal at sunrise. And when I say this experience was incredible, words really don't do it justice. Because we were actually staying in Agra, we were able to be some of the first in line for the Taj Mahal. Now this was actually pretty awesome because by the time we entered the grounds, the line had already quadrupled in size and was going round the block. So it's great that One Life were able to get us there at such an early time. We were also able to get some pictures without too many other people around. This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience and all included in the tour price. Later this day, you will head back to the hotel and then jump on a private bus to India's pink city, Jaipur. That evening, you will head out to watch a Bollywood movie in a grand theatre. Now, my itinerary was slightly different here because I actually did this tour over India's Festival of Lights, Diwali. So our guide was amazing at helping us to arrange celebrating Diwali with a local family. And we also got to wander the streets of Jaipur with all of the fireworks going off everywhere. This was an absolutely incredible experience, but obviously it will not be available on every tour. It will depend on the time of year that you go. If you would like to experience this, Diwali is usually late October to early November, and you can check out my full experience celebrating Diwali in India in this video right here. That brings us on to day 5, and on this day, you will get to experience India's famous pink city, Jaipur. You will walk the bustling streets of Jaipur's old city, visit local markets, and visit the stunning Palace of the Winds or Hawa Mahal. After lunch, you will jump in some tuk-tuks to visit India's Monkey Temple. And yes, India has a monkey temple. It's awesome. We also saw so many cows on the way in. Made a friend. And the view from the top is absolutely stunning. There's another optional extra to visit Mehrangarh Fort on this day, and I would highly recommend it. Our group decided all to go together and we had a great time. And again, our guide Adi was amazing at organising it. The next morning, you will take a bus to visit the holy town of Pushkar. Here, there's actually a Mediterranean influence with loads of delicious food and super cool markets. It's also a place where lots of other travellers are, so it's a great way to connect with people. In the afternoon, you also get to head for a blessing on the Holy Lake, and this was a really wholesome experience. The following day, you will jump on another train to head to the stunning City of Lakes, also known as Udaipur. Once you've settled in, your guide will take you for an orientation walk of the city and end the day with a beautiful sunset boat cruise over Lake Ikla.
Speaking of cruising, if you lot can just cruise down to that subscribe button, give it a click, make sure you hit that like button and turn the notification bell on, we'd really appreciate it.
The following morning, you really get to see why they call Udaipur the City of Lakes, as you head out into the surrounding countryside on a bike tour. Here you will get to visit multiple beautiful lakes and a side of India that you don't see in the media. The countryside was absolutely stunning, and you also get to visit local villages, which was so wholesome. We actually got to try on a sari and taste some local food before jumping back on our bikes to finish the tour. Later this evening, you get to take part in a traditional cooking class, and this was absolutely hilarious.
We better show it to the camera.
More like a dumpling.
We loved spending time with this local family, and after we finished cooking, we got to eat all of our food as a group on the rooftop, which was amazing. The next morning, you say goodbye to the city of lakes as you jump on a public bus to visit India's blue city, Jodhpur. Again, the experience on this public bus was really positive. There's loads of legroom and great AC. You get to stop off for snacks and go to the loo halfway, and I actually met a friendly cow here. On arrival, you will check into your traditional Haveli accommodation before heading out on a guided food tour around the Blue City. We had a delicious lassi and samosas. You also get to check out the beautiful Jodhpur stepwell before rounding up the day with dinner overlooking Mehrangarh Fort. This was actually one of our group members' birthdays, so it was such an awesome place to be able to celebrate. The following day was one of my absolute favourites throughout the entire tour, as this day you'd not only get to visit Mehrangarh Fort, but you actually get to do a zip line over the top of it. The zipline aspect is actually an optional extra, but it was really affordable, and again, our guide helped to organise all of it. If you don't want to do the zipline though, that's absolutely fine. You still get to visit Mehrangarh Fort and enjoy the beautiful scenery. If you are a bit of a thrill seeker though, I highly recommend this. Initially I thought it was just one zip line, but it's not. It's actually a whole adventure course of 6 different zip lines, and the experience was insane. And the views from the top of the fort and while you're on the zip line are just so beautiful. You get to see over all of the Blue City. You round up this day with a family dinner and catch an early night because tomorrow you're heading into the desert. The next morning, you are up bright and early to catch a train to Bikaner. This is actually a far more rural part of India and far less common for foreign visitors, so it was so cool that we got to visit as part of this tour. As soon as you arrive, you will head to your desert glamping site, and guys, this was my favourite accommodation throughout the entire tour. We had super cute glamping pods and there was a massive pool. Of course, we all went straight in the pool. But after this, you will head in some epic open-back jeeps to a camel research centre. This is another really awesome experience, interacting with the camels and learning about the camel's importance throughout the years in Bikaner.
Oh, hello. Oh my goodness, look at you!
Following this, it's time for a thrill as you take your jeeps into the sand dunes for a desert safari. You'll end this epic adventure watching the sunset in the desert, which is truly magical. Back at the desert glamping site, the fun continues into the evening with an included family dinner and entertainment. We even all got up and learnt some local dance moves. The following morning, there's opportunity to enjoy the stunning accommodation a little bit longer before exploring Bikaner town. You'll wander around the beautiful old Havelis and markets as you take part in a guided city tour, and there's plenty of photo opportunities and shopping to suit everyone. Later this day, it's time to take India's famous night train. I actually loved this experience. Firstly, we were all so close as a group. We really enjoyed sitting and playing games together, and we even told ghost stories on the train.
The silence thick and unnerving. Julian boarded late.
Secondly, the beds are actually decent and the aircon was working very well. So overall, it's a great one to experience while you're in India. If you want to see what this is like firsthand, you can check out my full experience in this video here. Once your train arrives in Delhi, you will jump in some taxis to head to your accommodation. You'll then get some free time to get some extra rest, or if you're up for it, explore more of Delhi. Later this evening, you will take part in the last family dinner to round up an incredible 2 weeks. Following morning, your guide will help you arrange transport to the airport or onto your next destination. These 2 weeks were honestly such an incredible experience. Words do not do it justice. I am still friends with a lot of the group that I travelled with, and actually we've since met up back in the UK for curry night. I really believe I made some friends for life and couldn't have asked for a better guide and itinerary. Bear in mind, guys, that the accommodation and itinerary may vary slightly over time, but you can see the latest details of this tour on the One Life Adventures website down below. And like we said, if you would like to do this tour, you can use our code FrequentFlyer15 for 15% off. Big love, guys. Peace.